It's time once again for the Real People Multi-Game Solitaire Mega Tournament. It's the summer of Sonny. Sonny here is a retired police officer. We're playing Shogun, and he's playing Shogun. His childhood nickname is Sonny. Parachute jumping is his fantasy, but he never did it. It seems like if you're retired and a police officer, you could save up the money to parachute jump. So I wonder, some of the fantasies on here are kind of things that you maybe don't have as much control over. Parachute jumping seems like you can take classes for those, for doing that, and I wonder why he didn't do that. Maybe he has bad knees, or maybe it's just it's better as a fantasy. I don't know. He's a loving soul for a Scorpio. I don't know astrology, and I know people who are into it. I don't know. I'm not going to get into that, but I don't know astrology. That's my point. Doesn't like Massachusetts politics. I can't say anything about that because this would be Massachusetts politics in the 90s. He'd like to meet the Pope, so I'm guessing he's Catholic. He'd also like to meet Napoleon. So that means he maybe has a military mind, and he's done quite well with military things. The last game was a little bit more military, I think, a little bit more about attacking than this one. Empire Make History on Your Living Room Floor. He didn't do bad in that game. He didn't do great either. But I don't know if that was really because of his choices or just because of the game. He started out in Africa, which wasn't a bad place. Better than the Australian player. Who was that? She's right here. Vaughn, that's right. Yeah, Vaughn I think kind of had a bum position in that game. Personal motto is motivation and control. So that's a strong motto to have. Motivation and control. And that seems like he's really going to be driven to win. Probably the most driven out of any of the players to win. Just based on that motto and based on some of the other things here too. But one thing that I think kind of goes against that is the fact that he hasn't parachute jumped yet. If you are truly motivated to parachute jump, and that's something that's attainable, why not just do it? I think he could just do it. It may be because he's overweight, and maybe that's difficult to do, to parachute jump if you're overweight, but then why not be motivated to lose weight? If you have control over your body, I think anorexia is about control, right? I don't know. I feel like maybe that's his motto, but I don't know if he really follows through with it. I think he has some weaknesses there. He has 3 professional sons. I'm going to take that to mean he pays people to pretend to be his son. So maybe he can't afford to get parachute lessons after that. Not active in affairs in high school. Genuine, quiet, sober. So I've been playing him somewhat conservatively in this as a result of that. He's taken more of a defensive tack. That and the fact that he's been able to he's pretty much just had one opponent through most of the game, I think has helped him. He's doing pretty well. He's second only to Pinky, and Pinky didn't really have to deal with anyone at first. So we're going into the summer. It's looking like we're only going to do this second year and maybe end the game. I just feel like, unless it gets neck and neck, I don't know, we'll see. It's the summer of Sonny though, and I didn't plan that to be Summer Sun, but his name's actually spelled Sonny, so it's the sun, like the professional sun, not the sun that shines and makes it summer. Okay, here we go. Let's get a quick reminder of what the board looks like. It's been a few days since I've played this. My new schedule doesn't afford me as much free time, and that's really hard on me emotionally, but it also means that my rate of video production is definitely slowed, as well as anything outside of more responsible activities. But anyway, so here's where we are. Sonny, he's not looking too bad. He's still got Destructo around, but he's not really opened to, Destructo's force is the only Kazusa there, but I don't know. Sonny's got a decent amount of defense going, which isn't to say Destructo won't hit him. He might. But then he's running to Pinky here. I don't think that Pinky's going to attack Shinano, but Sonny's going to have a big decision about what to do with Shinano. So if he attacks Mikawa or Haida with Shinano, then it's going to be softer, and then he's going to have Destructo behind him. Destructo could recruit there, and that'll be interesting to see what he decides. Looking at our special events, there they are. I don't have a lot to say about that. More interesting is the action track. So I don't know if you recall last time, a lot of people were kind of short on money. Not everyone, I guess mainly Betty Crocker and Sonny, which is odd. Sonny tends to be pretty careful with his money, but maybe got somewhat confident. Purchased some Suns. But we have a lot of high-ticket items here right away before the taxation, so some people are going to have to make some decisions, namely the two I just mentioned. But also Destructo. I think Pinky and Junior have enough to cover all of these three if they need to. But Sonny's going to only be able to do one of the two threes, the Palace or the Big Recruit. Probably likely the Big Recruit. I'm going to put down actions, and then we can go over what people are deciding. Oh, let's look at the events that are left, actually. Let's see, we have this big -4 rice, and then a rice limiter, and then we have this taxing limiter too. So everyone's going to want to tax with a large province, I guess, in case this comes up. All right, it's time for Sonny, who has the most provinces, which means he has the most potential actions out of any player to decide what he is going to do. So the first decision he has to make is what he's going to do with the 5 war chests he has before tax time. There's a total of 8 different things he could, or 8 that he could spend on. So you can pick one of the 2 3-cost items, which is a large recruitment or a palace building, and then also get the middle recruitment one, the 2 chests for 3 cubes. So he thinks it's desirable to do that, so he's definitely going to be bidding nothing on the turn order. So we can put that down right now. In fact, I'll put it face up so you can see what we're doing. He wants to build a palace because he only has 2 more chances to build before the end, and he doesn't think he can overtake anything up here in order to steal someone else's building. So he's going to build a palace in Shinano. It's the only place in this red area that he can build. Can you see when I'm going to the red area? Maybe you can't see that. The only place in the red area that he can build. And this light green area, he's pretty well got it. There's only one spot that he has any sort of contention. That's from Destructo. If Destructo builds a temple, that could be a problem to him. Well, he would lose 1 point off of it. So he's also going to build a temple. You want to take a look for taxing, though. He's going to need to tax in either Suruga, Musashi, or Totomi. Well, he wants to build a temple in either Suruga or Totomi, just in case Destructo's building a temple. Yeah, where would he do it? I think probably Suruga. He can build a temple in Suruga. If he has, yeah, he'll have the funds. Where is he going to tax from, though? His choices are anything higher than 6. He wants to go the safer route. That's Izu, Musashi, and Totomi. Totomi he doesn't want to tax in because it's kind of towards the beginning. Musashi, he might want to attack from Musashi. I'll have to decide that. Izu, where's Izu at? Oh, Izu's down here. I could see him. I think he'll tax Izu, and then get rice from Kai. Those are important choices to make. And now, where does he want to attack and reinforce? I think he'll reinforce from Totomi, or maybe Hitachi. If he reinforces Hitachi, he can do his big reinforcement in Hitachi, which is right up here. Totomi, he will also reinforce, or will he attack? I think he'll definitely attack from Musashi. I'll have that be his first attack. And then Sagami, that's right there. Ooh, he doesn't know what to do with Sagami. Maybe Sagami will be nothing. Yeah, it'd be a good place to build, actually. Is he building a... I think he'll build in Sagami instead. Sagami's kind of protected, and there's nothing else he can do with it. So then what will he do with Saruga? Saruga, I know what he'll do with Saruga. He'll do the little reinforcement and move. So he'll move from Saruga to Totomi. What does he want to reinforce in Shimosa? Yes, he does. And then Totomi he will attack in hopes of being able to take Mikawa. And he will blot out the no theater. Oh, I was going to put these face up for you. Oh well. Sorry about that. I had a very ricey event came up. It's the one with the stiffest penalty of the 3 that remained, if you don't remember. It also means that they're not going to be able to requisition more than 3 bowls of rice from the province that they take rice from. Still, I think overall good they got it out of that way, because I think people were planning on this event regardless. So let's take a look at how the bid turned out. Oh, okay. Betty Crocker bid Tajima. That would beat a 0 bid, which is what Destructo had. So Betty Crocker will go before Destructo, before Pinky, where people are low on money. Junior bid 1. That is going to be first, and then Sonny also bid 0. So Sonny, Pinky, Destructo will go randomly for the last 3 spaces. Junior will go first, and then Betty Crocker. Here's how the turn order turned out. Junior took the attacky one. The Shogun had the next choice. He took the bonus reinforcements in the last place position. Then I forget who got the next pull. I think it was Pinky. She chose the money. Sonny had a choice between rice and defense. He's pretty good defensively right now, so he went with the rice. I'm not going to look it up because I don't want to. I think if his rice is 3 that he pulls in, he gets that +1 anyway above the max. I don't know. Destructo seems to get the defensive one a lot, and he got it again this time. Palaces were built, and now it's time for attack phase B. Destructo's turn for attack phase B. He is going to attack Shimosa in true Destructo fashion. Could pay off for him if he wins and doesn't lose too many guys. He is going to get a palace there, and that's going to be worth an extra 2 points for him, assuming Sonny doesn't build any more palaces in the lime zone. Before I drop the cubes, it might be of interest. Junior did take Bichu. That's what he was trying to take the whole game. I don't know if you recall Junior's spring. He managed to destroy all the forces in there, including the palace. So now he's got it. Achieved a little goal there. Let's drop cubes for Destructo versus Sonny. And let's see. Eyeballing it, it looks like Destructo took it. But not by much. Yep. Oh. Yeah, he's got 2 in Shimosa. And we'll see if he can hold on to that for the rest of the game. Ooh, maybe not. Sonny has the next attack from Musashi. He was going to go after Kozuki here, which is a very vulnerable target. I think he's instead going to try and take his palace back. He's in a tough position though. I think he only wants to send 3 in, hoping that he still has some cubes left in the tower. That Destructo is just persistent. Okay, so Sonny is going back to try and take the Shimosa Palace back from Destructo. Here we go. And looks like he was successful. Just barely, but successful. And it's going to be hard. I don't think Destructo is going to be able to take that, take another shot at that unless he reinforces Kozuki this turn. At least not before the winter. So I don't know why you didn't say anything, but I went on and on about how Sonny should not spend two three chest amounts. I don't know a better way to say that right now. Prior to taxation, but he did it anyway. Even as I was talking through everything, a little scattered today. Some other interesting things that happened at the end of Attack Phase B, I thought I'd go over that aren't Sonny related really. The Shogun, Betty Crocker, took Issa from Pinky. That's her second province loss of the game. Right after that, we did reinforcements, and she ended up reinforcing right there. Oh, and Destructo turned out he did reinforce in Kozuki. So there's going to be some drama here, I think, definitely. We'll see where Shimosa goes. I wasn't even thinking about that. Destructo was going to, I don't know what he was going to do with Kazuki. I think he was going to go after Musashi or something. And we'll see what happens over here as well. Exciting. Did secondary reinforcements. Sonny reinforced in Shimosa, which was lucky for him. Actually, I don't think he should have been able to do that because he did lose the card. And I think if he got it back, I don't think it goes back to the spot it was in. So I think he loses that reinforcement in Shimosa, which is unfortunate. On the Destructo front, he reinforced in Mutsu, so there is going to be some conflict, I think, either over Hitachi or else, I guess, Destructo could go into Shimotsuki. But I think you and I both know that's probably not what Destructo has in mind. Taxation happened, and a quick little kind of footnote. Pinky, who's usually misses money bags, likes to get money and spend money. Her income was hurt quite a bit by losing Setsu. Setsu was actually her only province that had any sort of income. So she ended up taxing Shima. The upshot of that is there was a revolt from the farmers. It's quite a bit weaker, so that could play into Sonny going across Izu here. It might be somewhat tempting to go try and take Shima. It would be worth 2 points for him because he would be tying in temples in this area, and then he'd get a point for the province. Maybe worth it. And after Junior expanded to Tamba here, which I think makes for an interesting situation, three-way situation there, Destructo failed to take Hio from Pinky, barely. Now it's time for Sonny to attack Mikawa from Totomi. All right, let's see if our man expands further. And he certainly does. I don't think it was in too much doubt. There's not that many farmers in there. Not as great of an outcome as he would have liked, but... Oh, I accidentally put too many in there. Oh well. Alright, that's going to do it. Let's take a look at the board here. Betty Crocker just took a Chizen from Pinky. Pinky got hammered this turn, I think. She's down to 4 provinces. That's really rough. Destructo also did not do so hot. He didn't lose anything. I mean, he gained Shimosa only to lose it again. And he does have a chance to take it next time. So that would give him an extra 3 points if he could take that and not lose anything. He's very thin here in the east, though. He took a huge risk against Io with Aki. That roughed him up. The Shogun Betty Crocker's been doing better overall. Lost some forces in Tosa due to a farmer's revolt. But he's got a solid 4 points here if he can hold a cheese, and I wouldn't be surprised if Pinky didn't counterattack. What's interesting is Omi, though. There's a lot of buildings in Omi. Junior's got forces in Tamba there. Betty Crocker has Wakasa forces that are near Ormi. We might see some higher bids for turn order next turn, because a lot might depend on actually who attacks Omi last. Would probably be the most likely to do well. Betty Crocker could also attack from Issa, especially since he could get some reinforcements from Owari. But then Issa is also a valuable province. It has a palace down there, and by holding it, he's got, I don't know, we could go into Betty Crocker next time, because next time is going to be Betty Crocker's Autumn, or for those of you who don't like him, the Fall of Betty Crocker. Junior doing better now that he's not beating his head against the palace walls. Back to Sonny. Sonny, he now has 10 provinces, so he's going to be the only one to have all 10 actions in the whole game if the game ends. Made a little error with Totomi, but I don't really care that much about it. Not a lot to say, not super dramatic. His main area of concern, I guess, now is Kozuki. Kozuki could be attacking Musashi or Shimosa. I guess this whole band here, Hitachi is also vulnerable to Destructo, and now that Destructo has nothing over here, you can bet he's going to be paying attention, all his attention, in the east. So Sonny's going to have to be making some decisions going into the future about how to deal with that. Some possible options: he could attack from Shinano, attack Kozuki. Hopefully attack it before Destructo can do anything else, so that, you know, Kozuki can't do anything. He could hope that a reinforcement comes up and he can reinforce Hitachi sooner than later. Unfortunately for Sonny, Sonny doesn't have a lot of money again. You know, so if the treasure chest doesn't come up early, he could be hurting for actions. A lot's going to depend on how this action track turns out. A lot's going to depend on the turn order bid this next turn, because it might be the last.